Aslan and I are heading out towards Lemhi Pass, headed to northeastern Idaho to do a little exploring in the BLM and National Forest Service land there. We're planning to spend a couple of days just sort of wandering the wastes of the area. I've got a 4-day weekend, and Marianne's back home in Oxford for her pageant, so we're heading to the Lewis and Clark Backcountry Scenic Byway.
As I drove across the vast sagebrush plains, the high deserts of eastern Idaho, the Rocky Mountains slowly approached in the distance. As we arrived at the root of the mountains, I couldn't help but think about the hardy settlers that made this place their home hundreds of years ago. Thinking about Lewis and Clark coming over the pass and exploring this area as the first Europeans to be here, and as the Native Americans who lived here before any of them. It was a very harsh place to live, and a decently harsh place to travel even today. After getting gas in Leodore, I stopped at the town of Tendoy, where the road transferred to dirt, and the Lewis and Clark Trail began. The dirt road, Agency Creek, was a stage road all the way back into the early 1900s and late 1800s. It's kind of a tiny little campground. No official campsites, no fee I could find. But it's got little picnic tables. And we are right here next to the water. I can't complain too much. Alright, well, we got camp set up. Tent, table, fire ring, creek, and the trailer's over here. We're going to go explore the Lewis and Clark Backcountry Byway, Aslan and I are. Try to find some hiking to do. A little bit of a trailish thing next to the creek. Alright, so Lemhi Pass, the National Historic Landmark. The road ahead, number 13, narrow, winding, No buses, RVs, or towing units over 26 feet long. Well, my 8-foot trailer might be all right then. So we're heading up to Lemhi Pass. The Red Rock Stage traveled this route between Salmon, Idaho and Red Rock, Montana from 1866 to 1910. It ran 125 miles daily, year-round, involving 90 horses, 4 coaches, 12 wagons. Several holdups occurred near here, and it was not unusual for a stage to overturn on this treacherous road. On Monday, August 12, 1805, Lewis, with 3 men as an advance party, crossed the Lemhi Pass and spent their first night in Idaho near this spot. Dedicated to the memory of Sacagawea, captain, interpreter, guide, and counselor to Lewis and Clark. Bathrooms. There's a little trail going up to the most distant fountain spring. I admit I'm not as familiar with the Lewis and Clark story as I probably should be. Sacagawea is a vital link between the expedition and the Shoshone Indians as they traded for horses. She was an interpreter. I've got to say, it is incredibly beautiful up here. Spruces. Let's see. Meriwether Lewis said, 2 miles below, McNeil had exultingly stood with a foot on each side of this little rivulet, and thanked his God that he had lived to bestride the mighty and heretofore deemed endless Missouri. This little stream is just one of hundreds of small tributaries that flow into the Missouri River. After many months of laboring to pole, paddle, and drag the heavy boats of the Lewis and Clark expedition upstream, McNeil was finally able to straddle the great river near here. So this is the Grand Missouri, and right there is one of its headwaters. Sacagawea Memorial Area. I guess we'll keep going and see what we can see.
Well, we walked pretty far down this wildflower loop. It's supposed to be a mile, but I lost the trail on the other side of this field where the post stopped. We're just gonna go back the way we came, even though we're should be darn near to the end of the loop. I call it the wildflower loop, and it's probably because of all these here wildflowers. I keep saying hey bear and hey moose, but I think the Angus cow was our primary wildlife where we are right now. This is all the Lewis and Clark trails. There's a lot of Lewis and Clarkish information out here. He stood at some point they stood on top of Lemhi Pass right here and looked out and talked about the immense ranges of mountains to the west still. Fascinating. I'm about to cook some steak. Got my seasoning salt. Use Brussels sprouts on the side. Some ribeye and some Brussels sprouts. As a snack on his food. It's getting on towards bedtime, isn't it?